Kempire is brought to you by...
We have officially kicked off our Kempire After Dark, the Villain Era live experience tour. Philly, you were fantastic. We talked about so much during that show, from hot topics to Real Housewives. We covered everything. I need a 3-hour show. Unfortunately, they won't give it to us, but it's okay. It's okay. We can end up talking about all of these hot topics during the meet and greets as well. I'm coming to Atlanta on August 5th, then DC on August 22nd, then back in New York City on September 12th. So excited to meet and greet with you guys. All of the shows have meet and greets available, but the New York City show has a live stream option. So if you're around the country or around the world, you have an opportunity to experience the Kempire After Dark, the Villain Era for yourself. Head on over to the description of this podcast episode for details on how you can get tickets for when we come to Atlanta, DC, or our New York City show. I'll see you guys all in a couple of weeks. Yeah, see you guys soon.
You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
Here we go now. Come on. Do the snake. Do the snake. Do the wop. What is going on, everyone? And we're back. We're back live. Let me know if you can hear me. Can I hear myself? Oh, yeah, I can hear myself. I just wanted to make sure you guys could hear me. We are live yet again, but this is for you guys to react to the first part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. We were live earlier with our friends Layla Lynn and Grace Report. So if you missed that recap, I was just saying this to our TikTok fam. I love hearing a female's perspective, because at the end of the day, gay or not, I'm still a guy. So I like hearing female perspectives on some of what we've been watching when it comes to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Someone just asked, do I recap Real Housewives of Orange County? I do. We did do a recap of the premiere, both on our YouTube and a special extended version on the Kempire podcast. Thank you so much, Ty. Ty says, loud and clear. You calling me loud, Ty? Don't play it. All right. Thank you, So Swift. Thank you. You like my shirt? I got this from BravoCon last year? No, because we didn't have one last year. The year before, I got this at BravoCon. But I only got it because I think I wanted to have a different shirt. I didn't think I liked the shirt I had on, which is fine. You know, sometimes you know, when you're hot, you don't know how comfortable you're trying to be cute. And then you're like, I'm hot, I'm sweaty. So I ended up buying this T-shirt, not because I really wanted it, but because I thought it was cute. Anyway, guys, were you here earlier for our recap with Layla Lynn and Grace Report? Be sure to check that out if you missed it. Thank you, Ty. I know you. I was playing with you. I was being, you know. And for those, I quickly took a glance at the comment section of our last live. If you guys think I'm really going to argue with you about my opinion in the comment section with people I don't know, I wish you luck with that. I said what I said. This is my recap. If you don't like my opinion, you know where you can go. There is someone for everyone's opinion. But what I love about our community, we may not all agree, but we share it in a respectful way. But some of y'all don't even watch anything. You watch a snippet of something, or you look at a title and you run to your conclusions. You probably didn't even listen to the entire live. But if you think I'm going to tussle with you in the comment section, I know I'm in my villain era, but you would be so lucky, okay? You would be so lucky if I'm going to tussle with a stranger in the comment section. Okay? Not happening. Not happening. All right? Because none of y'all would have that same energy in real life. Look, none of y'all would have that same energy in real life. If you're about that life, look, if you're about that life, come to our live show on August 5th in Atlanta, City Winery. Okay, if you're about that life. But let me just tell you something. There's going to be a lot of Kempire lovers there, so I wish you luck. These people don't play about me. I'm kidding. We don't fight. Come on, y'all. We don't fight. Anyway, look, as I always say, like, we need to stop giving attention to the 1% when the 99% of you are all here for love, having a good time. That is what this is for. All right, so we were live earlier today with Layla and Grace Report talking about the first part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. But of course, I wanted to give you guys an opportunity because I know a lot of you love it when we have our callers call in and share their thoughts. If you are a member of the channel, I've already dropped the call-in link for our Royal Court members and our Senior Royals. That is the higher tier of our memberships here on YouTube. So it's already been dropped off for them. Let's get how many people we have in the building already. All right, let's get more people in the building. Keep liking liking the video if you haven't already. Porsha says we write at dawn for Kemp. Thank you. I appreciate that, but we don't need it. Special K says, exactly. Security. Exactly. All right. So here's the thing. I want to kind of go back and talk a little bit about some of my perspectives on what played out in part 1. I'm not going to go through it. We went through the recap with Leland and Grace Report earlier today in regards to everything that played out. But I had to talk about some of the most important things that stood out to me. Who do you think, based off of part 1, was the MVP of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunions for season 16? Who was the MVP of that reunion? I would have given for the season, not for the reunion, because at the end of that reunion, Angela fell apart for me. But for the season, Angela was the MVP. For the reunion, I'm going to give it to, who would I give it? Who would you guys give the MVP for the reunion? I definitely think Porsha came out, not swinging, but definitely came out trying to get ahead of things, trying to make peace with everyone, trying to really, so I would probably, and throwing her own best friend under the bus. You know what Drew did for me in this reunion? When she said, because they were talking about how she called Porsha a flip-flopper, well, a flop, not a flip-flopper, a flop for the season. She says, Simon says, like the play on the game Simon says, well, Simon says that you were a flop. I have to also give Drew her flowers for the season. Everyone was coming for Drew throughout the season, and she really held her own, right? I will definitely give it to Drew for the season and for the reunion because people were still coming at her. You saw that Shamia tried to... It was so funny because Shamia didn't see it for Porsha, but at the same time, she was still being a lapdog for Porsha because then she started coming at Drew and she was just like, why don't you just go and sit on Portia's lap? Right, Jamina? Jamina says, hashtag Simon says, I was not ready for Drew to say that. But Drew really, maybe because Ralph wasn't writing her lines this season and she really was just her own person, I really enjoyed Drew for the most part this season. It makes me sad to see that she might not be in the best place with the network. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't heard anything solid, but just based off what we've been seeing, how everything's been playing out this season, I'm sort of like, is Drew okay with production and the network? Remember, also, I think it was Cynthia, one of them were saying during, I think it was Watch What Happens Live, where Cynthia said that Drew was the most surprised by where she was seated at the reunion. A lot of us were surprised at where Drew was seated during the reunion. But again, remember, Kandi sat at the edge, about to fall off the stage for many seasons, and she was there the longest. So I don't know if that's really an indication of anything. But on some level, it is an indication of something. Because please understand, if Nene Leakes was still on this cast, she'd be seated right next to Andy Cohen, even if she didn't have a storyline. So it is a power position to sit next to Andy on some level. I did find it interesting, though, that they put Porsha and Shamia. And probably because of what's been playing out between Porsha and Shamia on social media. Do you think by the end of this reunion, remember, call me now, I predicted that we're going to see these two have it out during the reunion, and then by the end of the reunion, they're going to be crying and be like, but you're my best friend, we've been through so much together, and it's going to be all good. And then we're going to be able to come into the next season with them being it all good. But what I discovered based off of this reunion, because a lot of y'all, after episode 1, Shamia is the glue. Shamia is that girl. Shamia should have always been full-time. She's got a $9 million home. And I was like, $9 million home or not, does she have the personality to bring it? I also told you during the season, thank you so much, Badass. That's the name, y'all. Badass Baby. Thank you for the heart me. Shout out to our folks following on TikTok. I told you, I said, based off of what we kept on learning about Shamia, I was like, oh, so Shamia has always wanted to be a star. Shamia was in all these groups and it never clicked. And because she always downplayed herself in her friendship with Porsha, I was like, oh, it's starting to make more and more sense as to why Shamia is the way that she is and why she's never popped off both musically or media personality. She's always sort of been in the peripheral of us. You know, she's always sort of been there. We knew who she was. And she was fairly likable. But what we got from her this season, she became so unlikable. And I think it's because of her intentions. Layla said that she feels like that Shamia is a clout chaser. And by the end of the season, it kind of felt like, oh, was she really clout chasing? Remember, during the after show, Angela said that she felt like Shamia played the long game. And at first I said, no, come on, playing the long game for years? But by the end of this, I'm like, maybe she did play the long game because she is also a Taurus. Tauruses are very patient. It takes us a very long time before we move on something. So I could see Shamia playing the long game. No, Shawnette didn't just call her Shamonster. Not Shamonster. I kind of like that name. Rawr. Hold on. Not Shamonster.
Not Shamonster. Not Shamonster. I like Shamina better though. That rolls off the tongue a little bit more. Okay.
But I have to say, by the end of the season and by the end of this reunion, Shamina, I'm going to have to call her Shamina, she came across even more unlikable. And dare I say, a liar. Not dare I say, she came across a liar. We also found out about an alliance. So apparently there was some sort of alliance between Shamina, Brit, and Kelly. And then once Brit and Kelly had her falling out, Kelly was telling Porsha about everything that they were plotting and planning. So what we suspected at the top of the season, remember we were speculating that Kelly asking about the Simon stuff was sort of like, oh, this is her trying to have her moment. According to Shamina, she said that Porsha was a part of this alliance. Sidebar, every time that Angela kept on saying allegiance, they were like, well, you mean alliance. Well, allegiance can be the same thing. It's still an alliance to someone. So an allegiance works too. All right. Some of you weren't even thinking about that, but I'm thinking about, synonyms and things, adjectives. Ooh. Just me? Oh, okay. Fine. Okay. Let me see. Oh, hold on. J-Spot says, hey, y'all, I just came to say he styled the F out of Angela's wig, right? Especially when you see how Angela's wig first started and versus how it ended up. Angela's hair was looking good. Angela looked good. Okay, we started off the last recap talking about the reunion looks. One of the first tweets that I posted yesterday. Okay, Angel says, I thought about it too, Kim. Okay. All right. Loyalty says allegiance is the same. I guess in their brains, not Porsha trying to correct someone's English. It's okay, but the way that Angela was saying it, you could tell that she probably wanted to say alliance, but allegiance is the same thing. Okay. Anyway, what was I going to say? Damn, I got sidebarred. It's okay. I'll come back to it. So for those that are just joining us, we're talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion for season 16, part 1. All right. So, hey, Twan Dawn was at our Philly show. Shout out to Philly. We had a really great time in Philly this past Thursday. The Kempire After Dark live show is now coming to Atlanta next on August 5th. And I know it's a Tuesday, but y'all can come out. All right, we won't be out that late. Calm down. Go get your tickets if you haven't gotten your tickets already for that show. Then we'll be in D.C. on a Friday night. So go get your tickets for that show. And then we're back. Oh, thank you, Charis. Thank you for reminding me. My first tweet was about the reunion looks. And I could not be, I was so distracted by how bad Phaedra's outfit really looked. And you guys dragged Phaedra. And I was just like, damn, I didn't realize that you guys were going to drag her that bad. But you guys dragged it. But then seeing it in real life, seeing the helmet of it all, it definitely was not giving what she thought it was giving in regards to the Grenada trip. Okay? But okay. Let me take a sip. I was just looking, I was like, ooh. But then, I don't know if you guys saw it in the Bravo version, but the Peacock version, I saw that Porsha's dress was falling apart. Like part of where the breast was. Because I really thought the dress was made out of metal. But apparently it wasn't. But we're straight shooters. She wasn't the only one looking a hot mess. Drew's hair and makeup looked a hot mess. The dress looked a hot mess. The dress looked too costumey. But I still loved Porsha's dress. I just didn't. I was like, oh my gosh, the dress is about to have a wardrobe malfunction. The side part was sticking up. I was like, damn. But Drew's outfit looked terrible. Look, Drew's outfit, the hair and makeup looked terrible. Even though she had such a great season of confessionals and looks, like for the most part, she had a great season. So the reunion was like, damn. Bridget says, I thought it was metal. That's what I thought until I watched the Peacock version. All right. And it was very subtle. If you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't have noticed it. But it kept on coming up. And then she even noticed it and she was trying to fix it. I was like, damn. It's still one of my favorite looks. Don't get me wrong. But Phaedra's outfit looked a hot mess even in person. Okay. Oh, damn. Journeyology to the Root says, Kempire, Phaedra's outfit is a Temu version of Porsha's look. Is it? I don't know. It just looked bad. Pageant Mommy says that, Drew was very late. That's what they were saying, that Drew was very late. It looked like all of them were late. The reunion started 2.5 hours late. Andy Cohen, who's the boss, I would have been heated. All right? Heated with how badly they were late. All right. I'm getting all excited. Let me calm down for a second. Kendra, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. We have a bunch of you members sending super chats. Thank you guys. So Kendra says that miserable Martina can go away. We talked about that in a separate podcast episode. Those comments were disgusting. Her true persona is showing. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the tweet. I don't know if she's now claiming that she was hacked. Okay, what about the years and years of terrible comments you've made? So she was talking about surrogacy, and she was like, you can't have it all. Yeah, I talked about it on the podcast where she retweeted this person's comments about surrogacy, and she just basically was like, oh, I can read to you exactly the tweet so I don't get it mixed up. This is what Martina said. We're not talking about Martina, but we can talk about it. Where's her tweet? Her tweet was, surrogacy is just wrong. Sometimes you can't have it all. This is coming from a lesbian woman that just adopted black boys. There was a period in time, and probably still some people that believe that people from the LGBT community should not adopt and should not be allowed to adopt. So I thought that was rich coming from her. And you also know Andy Cohen has 2 kids by surrogacy. I wonder how he feels about it. She deleted the tweet, though, from what I recall. Thank you so much, Kendra, for the super chat and for the reminder that Martina's trash. So Swift, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. She says, when Drew said, Simon says there was no storyline, she had me howling. She was MVP last night. Yeah, she was definitely one of the MVPs. I was hoping that Angela's receipts would land, but by the end of the reunion, her receipts weren't landing for me. Anyone else? Her receipts were not landing. At this particular point, based off of that, do you think Phaedra had anything to do with the Marcus of it all? Or do you think Marcus just came up with this himself and is just lying? And none of the housewives had anything to do with it. Twan, thank you so much for the super chat. Twan says, y'all, Kempire is a vibe outside of all of this as well, FYI. Yeah, we all went out to eat. Oh, I'm still, because I'm a foodie. I had some lamb chops at this Mediterranean place. Shout out to Lonnie. She chose this place. Oh, the lamb chops were delicious. I had this edamame hummus with some warm pita. I should have got some to take back to the hotel. So good. Shout out to Philly. We had a great time in Philly. Oh, we had a great time in Philly. If you missed it, you better come to the Atlanta show or the DC show or the New York City show. More information is available in the description. It's available in my bio for those who are watching on TikTok. Sharon, thank you so much for the super chat. Sharon says Drew was 3 hours late. The way they edited it made it seem like everyone was late. So I don't know if it was just her. I think that's what everyone's been saying, that it was her. But is that why they sat her at the end? Danielle, thank you so much for the super chat. Danielle says, Drew's baby hairs. How old are we? Damn, disappointed. I think that just the entire look was not good. Not good at all. All right. What else stood out to me in this reunion? I'm not going through every single part, guys, because we did that during our live earlier today. I just wanted to kind of go through the most important parts. If you are a member of the channel, I've already dropped the call and link for all members. Well, no, for the Royal Court members and Senior Royals on the post tab. I will drop it for Team Kempire members as well. Let me do that now while I remember. Okay, let me go here. And for those that are here, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Let me drop the call and link for all members on the post tab. All right. And shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and all the places. We had another super chat from Kendra. Kendra says, you playing Dr. G's song after the clip of Angela and Charles's internet was hilarious. Set me free. Yeah, because I had to play that clip because, Charles, that was the other thing that, and I'm sure they'll talk about this probably in part 2 or part 3 on how Charles has been cringy to watch. But you may have seen that podcast interview that Charles did. And Charles was just, again, he said someone must have put something in his drink for why he married Angela. And then Angela went on social media where it looked like Charles was like, Charles, blink if you need help. Basically admitting that he wanted to marry her. I'm tired of this. I hate to see this, and I get it. Everyone loves differently. Everyone's dynamic is different. But I was just like, Angela, why are we doing this? This man is making you look like a fool. Obviously, I think he loves Angela, but I'm just like, you forcing him to come on social media, I'm like, we don't need to do that. Right? We don't need to do that. Special K says that podcast was a travesty. And they're launching a podcast called Banned. All right. Foxy says, so rude and disgusting to say by Charles is not funny. I agree. All right, y'all. Okay, I posted that on there. Let me just, Lord, I'm uncomfortable in this chair. So I'm like, should I stand or should I sit? Oh, all right. And hey, Angelica. Angelica's watching us on TikTok as well. All right. What else did I want to mention? Or do I want to just get to the callers? Because I see we have a bunch of people that are backstage. Let me see. There were other things that I wanted to mention. Oh, we also caught Shamia possibly in a lie. Did you guys see that? Shamia basically said that she was not the one to hook Charles and Porsha up. But then I told you guys reminded me, back in 2021, I did a video talking about Shamia and Porsha in the comment section. And Porsha referred to Shamia as the best matchmaker ever. And thank you to the person that reminded me. I couldn't remember. Oh, it was Barry. Barry, didn't you remind me? One of you guys reminded me. And I had to go back last night after it came up during this episode. It came up and Shamia kept on saying, I did not. And then they played back in Nashville. She was like, I was there when they got together. I was there. And Angela and Drew were calling Shamia out for it, and Shamia kept on lying. Damn, lying? Yeah, lying would be the word. So I don't know what really was happening, but what was definitely not happening was Shamia and Porsha collaborating on whatever lie that they were telling. Shadi says, did she or did she not introduce them? I don't know. I don't know if that was just a story that they were telling back in 2021. I don't know what's the truth. I don't know. I don't know why she wouldn't want to own it now, but that pause, that Porsha had during the reunion when Andy asked her about it, I was like, and then if you looked at her body language, if you looked at Porsha's body language, it was like, okay, are we lying? What are we doing here? What happened here? And even Andy was like, okay, are you just saying this because you wanted to cover yourself? I don't know. I don't know what the truth is. What I do know is that these two former best friends are not collaborating at this reunion. I thought that was interesting because that wasn't the only time that they were not in sync on a story. Even the whole alliance conversation, they weren't in sync on that story. Hold on. Dina says, Dina says she was there from the beginning, but may have not introduced them. But you saw the tweet though, right? Not the tweet, the comment from Instagram. Porsha says, thank you, best matchmaker ever. So what does she mean by that? What does that mean? And why did production, maybe production doesn't watch the channel. Lies. Why didn't they bring that up? Why wasn't that brought up? Monica on TikTok says, did the reunion for season 16 come out yet? Yeah, Sunday. Damn, those ratings about to... Those ratings about to be woo-hoo. User on TikTok, user 61112 says, why did she lie for Shamia? I don't know. I'm trying to understand. So that was one of the lies that came out during the reunion. Then Kelly talks about her issues with Brit. I really do believe if Brit showed up for the reunion and just held herself accountable, owned her stuff, I think they probably would have brought Brit back for another season. I don't think Brit was great this season, but there were a few moments towards the end of the season where I was sort of like, well, I'm on Brit's side. Right? Anyone else? Like, there were a few moments that I'm like, I'm on Brit's side. Like, I feel like you're wrong here. So I feel like Brit showed up to the reunion, then Brit probably could have secured her spot. Just saying. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. Twan, thank you for another super chat. Twan says, shout out to the member who flew out from Yeah, we had someone that flew out from Seattle to the Philly show this past Thursday. Shout out to her. I got to meet her backstage, and we even did a little video for her aunt that wanted to come to the show. All right. Hold on, y'all. This thing is getting stuck under here, and I don't want to lose it. There we go. Shar says, what's the next Real Housewives city? That is Rhode Island. That's Rhode Island. They're currently filming that, and I saw that Black Dolores is going to be there. Jess says, where's the rating poll? We did that during the other live. You guys can let me know how you would rate this week's episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion from 1 to 10. Live chat on TikTok. Can you let me know? Can you let me know how you would rate this week's episode? Mrs. Lexi says, why is Phaedra back? I thought that was interesting. Again, I don't even know now, based off of how this reunion ended, whether I believe that Phaedra had anything to do with Marcus's story. Because Layla pointed out something good. She's like, did he come up with this on his own just to be on the show? Because even Angela said that he blamed Kelly at one particular point. So now I don't know. I don't know who to believe. What I do know is that Marcus clearly wanted to be on this show and has tried to catapult being on the show and try to make other opportunities for himself. Like, I don't understand if you have a restaurant, if you have something else going on. I've seen this with so many, but you want to be on reality television? Like, you do know there's no future in reality television, right? We see so many of these people get stuck in the reality television hamster wheel where they go from Real Housewives and then they're on every other reality show because there really is no future. Everyone's trying to be the next Bethany Frankel or the next Cardi B, where you take this opportunity and you spin it into a real career. Like 1% of people have actually been able to do that. The majority end up in this hamster wheel of being on reality television. Look at Big Brother. Rachel, she was on Big Brother years ago. Now she's back on Big Brother, and she does all the reality shows too. She was on Traitors. I will be talking about Big Brother on the Club Kempire podcast. So shout out to our Club Kempire baddies. Subscribe today. It is a paid subscription, but you get free three-day trial. I will be talking about this week's episode. I'm going to probably do this later on today, so stay tuned. And I hate that for the reality TV stars, that they get stuck in this hamster wheel, because I'm like, that's sad. To me, it's really sad. And I've seen it with so many of the reality TV stars, especially the housewives. They get really stuck in it. And this is why they become so reliant on that check. And the Bravo check is pretty good, even, in comparison to some of the other shows like TLC. It's still better than a lot of these other networks. But still, you're not getting residuals. But, so Phaedra says that, I don't know if I believe Phaedra had anything to do with it now, but I also don't believe that Angela conjured this thing up. Do you guys believe that? Oh, Candy has been able to spin this off into something else. T says, what about Candy? But again, that is a small percentage. A small percentage. All right. Keith says, how did Kim Z catch a stray? Who was talking about Kim Z? I wasn't. But okay. So anyway, by the end of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, Angela brings out her receipts, and I don't think her receipts landed. Because all she had in her receipts is that she associated it with, Phaedra's brother went to school with Marcus's sister. And I'm just like, okay. But again, we have to remember we're watching an edited show. Remember when Monique talked about all the receipts that she shared during the reunion and they only showed a percentage. But the thing is, for Monique, what they showed landed. But they didn't show the alleged Giselle breakdown. So I don't know if Angela showed a lot more during the reunion. But again, now I'm thinking Marcus probably just made this up and no one gave him anything. And he just ran with that narrative because the streets have been saying this about Charles. So it wouldn't shock me. I just, the timeliness of this makes me wonder because remember when this was being filmed, we didn't know if Angela was going to be full-time on the show. So now, was it Phaedra? Was it another housewife? Or was it production? I don't know. But I don't believe that Angela would conjure up this as a storyline that would disparage Charles. I don't believe that. I definitely don't believe that. But I do think that she was trying to clean it up so that he didn't look bad and that one of the housewives were the ones to bring this to the show. I don't think she should have filmed with him. And I also don't love it on the season finale that she didn't tell Charles that she invited Marcus there. That's why Charles had the reaction that he had. Special Case says, no one has topped Monique. No. And I feel like Monique from Real Housewives of Potomac should have left reality television on that note and then came back this season. But for those that watched Love and Marriage DC, look, I'm not that excited about her return because I did watch Love and Marriage DC. But we'll see. I mean, a lot has happened in Monique's life, so I'm definitely going to be open to what she's going to bring. Pageant Mommy says that Angela flatlined with her non-receipts. Do you guys agree? I think, yeah, those receipts did not land for me. Blanche says that Phaedra did it. Phaedra's body language and speech is the same that it was when she tried to lie her way out of the Porsha lie. That's why I believed it. Based off the season finale, that's why I believed it. Because the way she looked up in the air looking for the truth. And then her immediate to run to, let's talk about those foreclosures. But okay. All right. What else did I want to talk about from this reunion? I talked a lot already during our recap with Layla Lynn and Grace Report. However, I wanted to just mention some of the things that stood out to me. But this is more about the fans, you guys, reacting to the season finale, because I know you guys still love to call in and share your thoughts. I still think that Kelly's money is funny. Anyone else? She does talk about that. Andy's like, I just want you to focus on the waffles and investing your money into the waffles and not this. And this is coming from a multimillionaire. Andy Cohen is saying, like, girl, do you need all of these things? Like, the security, I believe that. And I'm glad Layla brought up. She didn't like the fact that they were questioning her security because she did talk about DV. But I'm talking about the entire team of it all. The stylist, the makeup artist, the publicist, Like, what do you need all that for? Before the show. That didn't make sense to me. But okay. And then all the money and okay, I was like, okay, and then you're being sued. Because my thing is, if you had that type of money, because she talked about and blamed the reason why she didn't pay the unpaid rent for that second location was because she had a $200,000 bill to pay her attorney. But you have all of these teams for other things. You should be able to pay $200,000 to your lawyer and your rent. If not, then your money management is scary. Andy Cohen, who's worth probably who knows how many much over you, doesn't have all of what you have and doesn't walk around like that. Okay. Keisha says, Kempire, remember she said the ex took $500K out the account. Yeah, but still, I'm still trying to understand. Okay, that's $500K. Your lawyer's fee is $200K. Your rent was $100K. I don't know. But that's me. Some just, I told you this during the season, something about her finances just is not landing for me. But would you want to see Kelly come back next season? I'm okay with Kelly coming back next season. I didn't think she was that bad. The only person that I felt like was so bad that did not need to return, for the most part, was Brit. I liked Angela. I thought Kelly, although loud, but again, if you're producing reality television, it's not about who you like. It's who you feel like brings a good dynamic to the group. She was the only one that threw multiple parties and events. So she's festive, and you need people that can throw those things. Brit couldn't do any of that stuff. So I'm okay with Kelly coming back next season. I hope she takes all that coloring out of her dog and make that dog look actually cute. The dog could actually be cute. She makes the dog look mangy. Okay? She does. Come on. All that dog needs is a nice little haircut and take all that coloring out. Jamina says, I don't care either. Jamina says, I don't care either way. Pageant mommy, I wouldn't expect anything less. She says, I go over the top for my daughter, but 17 persons is not responsible, even in terms of teaching her daughters. Yeah. Especially when you're being accused of owing $200,000. You know, like, come on. Money management is not there. But it's okay. It's all right, Kelly. I think Kelly deserves a second season. You know what? After this reunion, y'all, I wouldn't be mad if Shamia didn't come back. We didn't see her husband the majority of the season. We ended up disliking her even more than we did before. I would be okay if Shamina didn't come back. Live chat. Do you want to see Shamina come back next season? I think the only reason why Shamina would come back is because of her issues with Porsha. But I honestly don't want to see that anymore. Pageant Mom says, justice for Cha-Cha. Save Cha-Cha, Peter. Just saying. I would love for Cha-Cha to come back next season, take all the coloring out, get a nice little haircut. Jahai says the dog mangy like Kelly's finances. All right. Ashley says that Shamia can be a friend of. How did you guys feel about Cynthia this season? I asked both Grace and Layla what they thought. And they were kind of like, I was okay with Cynthia being there. But when you think about how legendary friend doves have been on Real Housewives of Atlanta, she was just okay. She was just okay for me. Just okay. All right. Look, Tamby says, I would be okay too if Shamia doesn't come back. I said that too. One of our users on TikTok said Cynthia's too old for the cast. She definitely gave auntie vibes when mixing and mingling with the cast. She was better off when she was mixing and mingling with Porsha and Phaedra. All right. Let's get to our callers. Live chat, I will drop the calling for you guys as well. But if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. I'm going to do that first. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. Matter of fact, I'm going to... Hold on, y'all. Let me switch my chairs because I just feel like this chair is too high and I want to sit back on down so I can get to the callers. Miss Diva says that Phaedra's too old. Lord have mercy. You guys are... Okay, guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion for season 16, part 1. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion as well. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. And for those of you watching behind the scenes, we have quite a few of our members that are waiting to share their thoughts and opinions. We were live earlier with Layla Lynn and Grace Report talking about part 1 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. So if you missed that, be sure to check that out and be sure to follow them. And of course, I want to hear what our members have to say, but let's get to 400 likes and I will drop the call link for our live chat as well for those that want to call in and share their thoughts. Kendra, thank you so much for the super chat. Kendra says, Kelly needs to stop making the dog look crazy. I really feel like the dog would be probably really cute if she took all that color out and she gave it a nice, decent haircut. I don't understand why she keeps saying, oh, my dog was stolen. They have chips for that. I don't understand. I don't understand why no one has pointed that out to her, but okay. Fine. HG, thank you so much for the super chat. I think she personally likes the dog looking like that. You know what I mean? Just say that, girl. So, and I'm okay with, people love their dogs. I'm okay with you doting on your dog, but come on, that's not doting on your dog. It feels like abuse. All right. HG, thank you so much for the super chat. HG says, I'm glad Porsha called Phaedra out for continuing to lie on her in the Jason Lee interview. I wonder if frickin' Frack will still be close in the next season. I think they'll be fine. I don't think it's going to cause a major issue next season. I know a lot of people speculate that will probably be the storyline. We'll see. I mean, I hope not, because by that point, like, if you guys were really frickin' Frack, you would have had a conversation before the season. Excuse me. So, Demi, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Demi says, Cynthia can stay away too. Unless we get older housewives and Marcus doesn't own that restaurant, he's the GM. Okay, so they, thank you, Demi, for that. They referred to him, though, under his thing as restaurant owner, didn't they? So I thought that was interesting, but thank you for that. I appreciate that. I wonder if he lost his good paying job because of that. I'm just saying. Tanya says, who would steal that dog? Well, I think that's the whole point now. People do steal Yorkies, though. And they try to, make more of them, breed them and stuff like that. Seven says that I love dogs, but I feel like Kelly's trying to give Paris Hilton, but it's not landing. Because there are ways to dye your dog and it look cute. I just don't think I don't think it's landing, in my opinion. Okay. All right. Let's get to our callers, because that was the whole point of me doing this live, was for our members in our live chat to weigh in on the Real Housewives of Atlanta's latest episode. I just want to remind you, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, TheKempire LLC, or our sponsors, okay? And they agree to not to share any profanity, to abide to the time limit, and to not to say anything derogatory, okay? Or they will be banned indefinitely. But our callers don't do that, okay? So let's get to our callers. We have Cynthia, who's been waiting patiently backstage. Cynthia, what did you want to share about the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion? Uh-oh, I can't hear you, Cynthia.
Hi, Kempire. How you doing?
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. I think there's a delay, though.
I'm sorry. How you doing, Kempire?
I'm well. Can you hear me?
There is a delay. Maybe I should log out.
Yeah, log out and call back in. Okay, I'm going to drop her out. Sometimes that happens, again, StreamYard. All right, let's bring up Jenna next. Jenna, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire. Cynthia had to run to beat up her sister again. That's what to do. Listen, I don't have that much to say about the reunion because it was very underwhelming. But you know what wasn't underwhelming? The fabulous show last week. I so much enjoyed seeing you in person. I even sat next to somebody I recognized from the chat. So shouts out to Fume K. But yeah, it was fantastic. One of the things I will say, just because you got me thinking, and when y'all were talking this morning, I don't know why people are surprised that the dog looks a mess. Y'all said that Kelly looks a mess too. So that makes sense. I mean, so I didn't even notice, but I was like, it was trying to, like the person said, it was giving Paris Hilton or trying to do Elle Woods. Like, but everything about her is very performative. I think you're absolutely correct. Her money is funny. Just like Brit's money is probably funny. I think Kelly was just a little better at faking it. And she kind of just laughs off when when they talk about all the money she owes. And she just laughs it off, whereas I think Brit kind of crumbled under the pressure in addition to having all the other Kenya stuff. Because a lot of these women get on there and fake it till they make it. They need to go ahead and cancel RHOA and make a Real Housewives of Philadelphia. Because we have that fancy part of the city called the Main Line area. Well, it's out of the city limits, but then we have enough pockets of ratchet all over the city that people can, with their ridiculous families, can get on in there with all their Philly money and have a good old time with the show. I think that'd be great if you start casting for
I
that.
saw a pow 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 out that happened in Philly over the holiday weekend.
Oh,
Did y'all see that footage?
On them. The shenanigans. I was nowhere near that. It's nothing that popping late at night. Nothing open but legs and craziness. So I don't be out.
I saw that. I was like, oh, and this is before I came to Philly. I was like, what is going on?
It was the night. Apparently, it was the night between the 4th of July and the 5th. And I just stay in my house because I know people out here crazy, and I don't want to be in the bad areas. When I was younger, I saw some things in the streets, so I decided to stay in my house.
Oh, damn.
It's terrible. Stay safe.
Thanks, Jenna, for calling in. And nice seeing you
Talk to you
again at
later.
the show.
Yes, it was a blast. All right, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, let's bring Cynthia back up. Cynthia, are you there?
Hi, Kempire. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Jenny, you're so funny. You know my sister. Kempire, overall, the season, I would say it was about a 5. My only thing is, I don't think Shamia hooked Portia and Simon up because Shamia, you're married. That's kind of weird.
Why is that weird?
Because she's a married woman. Would she want someone to hook them up with her husband or something like that? You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Didn't Brit say something like that about Shamia cheating? Allegedly. That's what Brit said. I'm just repeating what Brit said.
Allegedly. But what I will say is that Shamia and Kelly, they look like better friends to me than her and Portia. You see how Kelly was defending Shamia?
Mm-hmm.
And Shamia and Kelly's beefing with Portia?
Okay. Anything else, Miss Cynthia? Everyone's reacting. Everyone remembers that story that you beating up your sister.
Girl, I can't. Well, I'm going to talk about more on August 22nd in D.C.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait, Cynthia. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Kempire. Take care now.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
That's funny. All right, let's get to some more calls. But I do want to say thank you. Beverly, who's watching on Facebook, says, "Hey, Kempire, I sent you a small cash app. I'm unable to super chat on YouTube. I don't know why it says nostril. I don't know. Either way, thank you so much for the for the cash app. Thank you to and normally I have my notifications off, so I don't see it until after the live. So thank you to all those of you that send in cash apps, PayPals, Venmos, all of that. Those are nice little quick lunch money for me. So thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you to everyone that supports any way that you can. You can also support guys just by liking today's video. Myra, thank you so much for the super chat. Myra says, hold on, y'all. Justice for Kelly's dog and confessionals for the dog for next season. I mean, yeah. Look, it's her dog at the end of the day. She said it's not harming the dog. I just don't feel like it makes the dog look any better. Okay, because I've seen dogs that actually get their hair dyed and then they dye professionally and they look so cute. Her dog, no. Brandy, thank you so much for being a member for the Super Chat. We appreciate your support. Let me see. Izzy, thank you so much for the Super Chat. Izzy says, I'd give Shamia one more season. Some housewives flop it first season and redeem themselves in the second season. If she can't get it together season 17, then cut her. Okay, you're fair. I can appreciate that. I can definitely appreciate that. I mean, she wasn't so terrible that she couldn't come back next season. I was like, I feel like because we've given her so many opportunities before this as a friend of, but you're right. All right, Izzy, be the voice of reason. Let me know if you guys agree with Izzy or you agree with me. Okay. Viewer says, just became a member. It's going to be on the post tab on my profile here on YouTube. So check it out there. Kasha says the dog is tired. Damn. All right, let's bring up Toya next. Toya, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm good. I think a lot of people was watching Love Island last night and not RHOA, but
okay.
I do want to say you can tell, especially in the beginning, that Andy has like a really big soft spot for RHOA compared to the other franchises. The way he talked about them, and even when he talked about Cynthia, like he is very like warm, and like you can tell he really likes the franchise and some of the ladies. In regards to Shamia, I think she deserves another shot. She actually has the money we've been asking for. She actually has a husband, and she actually has a lot of interesting things going on in her life. So I think she deserves another shot. Okay. But I would not have my husband on this show. I'm sorry. The way these ladies
barely was on it
for relationships, you would not see my man.
Toy, he was barely on it.
Good. That's what I like, Kempire. Look at Charles. Out here embarrassing Angela. Come on now.
Yeah.
And she had to bring him to the front of the class and apologize to everybody. Talking about, he was forced to marry her, or he was drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, these men think they funny, and they are, like, we have to tell them, you are not comedians. You are not a comedian. You do not have comedic timing. That was not funny. You are embarrassing your wife. Stop it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't see my man, child. Would not. You would see him come and give me a kiss. He going to work. He going to work. He got to go make that money.
I mean, I hear you. I mean, it secured her spot on the show. That's what they say.
Yeah, but these women be coming for husbands because what is the story about who paid that man?
Yeah, I don't. Who do you believe paid the man?
Phaedra.
Oh, so you still, even after the receipts fell flat at the reunion, you still believe Phaedra was behind it?
I don't feel like they fell that flat.
Oh.
Everybody was from Athens.
Okay.
Who from Athens? Phaedra. Has Phaedra done this before? Yes, we know of Phaedra to be a liar.
Yeah.
So I don't. Hey,
But here's the thing, though.
opinion.
With Marcus, he's not a really credible person. His credibility is lacking.
He's not. But somebody had to. Who told him to go there?
Who invited him?
Yeah, somebody had to tell this man something. Because you just don't be knowing where they are filming at like that. You know what I mean? Like in advance.
Well, it was announced. That particular event was publicly announced. I remember when they announced it, and I believe they said that it was going to be filmed.
Oh, well, you think he just a stranger that showed up and got the airtime?
I'm glad no one's kids were there.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know, but there's a reason why people don't want to come on the show because look at what I mean. Even Porsha saying what she said, like I should have F your man. First of all, I don't think Charles got that kind of money. I think Angela's all right, but I could never forgive Porsha for saying what she said. Like
Wow.
she need to be quiet before I F her man.
Just because she's cool with Porsha doesn't mean that she's forgiven her or she would leave her man around Porsha. I think she's like, we're cool, but you're not going to be at my house.
I couldn't be on Housewives because I couldn't pretend to be cool. I would be giving you a dirty look every chance I got. That's just me. And then she gave Porsha the award. Nah, I would have given it to Londi as a posthumous, I can't pronounce the word, I'm sorry.
Posthumous.
As yes, award. And Porsha would be the one accepting on her behalf. But I would not have made it seem like Porsha was getting the award too.
Damn, okay.
Because honestly, what have we seen Porsha do for the Hosea Feed the Hungry campaign? We have not seen her really be involved. I followed Porsha online. I didn't really see her posting stuff about the company.
Look.
Okay, exactly. You put my grandfather was so civil rights, okay, and you had the platform your grandfather never had. So why are you not posting more, especially during the big holidays, like of course Thanksgiving, but Easter
they're still very
and
much
OK Day?
active.
Huh?
They're still very much active. They're still
They're still very much active. So why are you still not posting and supporting them and showing yourself volunteering there or something like? Because you don't care about that. You just want to be a rich man's wife, and that's okay. That's okay, Porsha.
Wow. Came in hot today, Toya. Well, thank you for calling in and sharing your unfiltered opinion.
Thank you for giving me the time.
Of course.
I'm
only giving members the time. So members, Toya is a member, Cynthia was a member, Jenna was a member, Tyler's backstage member, Daylin's a member, Sharon's a member, DJ, viewing is a member, and O'Shea. O'Shea will be... So members, if you call in late now, you're going to be on a timer. Everyone else is not on a timer because they're members. This is all about the fans, fans of the channel weighing in on last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Toya, thank you so much for calling in. Let's bring up Tyler. Tyler, what did you want to share about the part 1 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion? Uh-oh, Tyler, I don't hear you. Something might be going on with StreamYard. Tyler, drop out and call back in if you can hear me. All right, let's bring Daylin up. Daylin, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing well. Well, I first want to say, the right couch with Shamia, Angela, Kelly, and Drew. I just want to rearrange that couch, really bad. Because I feel like Drew was deserving of that first chair, second to Angela. because I feel like Shamia and Kelly were just being lapdogs to Porsha, and Kelly was being a lapdog to Shamia. I feel like Shamia is having like a mad day moment now. That's why I feel like she's trying to air out all the things her and Porsha did with Kelly and Brit as well.
Oh.
And I agree with Layla Lynn when she says that Shamia is a clout chaser.
Oh.
Because that's the vibe I've been getting. Like after she called Angela LaToya Jackson, I was like really off the Shamia train because I'm like, Shamia, please just have several seats with that pixie cut, please. And,
I like her pixie cut. Oh. But you're not the only one. A lot of people have said that. I'm like, I
yes,
think she's able to
I
rock
was
it.
living for it at first, and then the way it was like moving when she called her LaToya Jackson, I was like, yeah, the pixie, yeah, let's do the bob. I like the bob.
Oh. Okay.
But I feel like Portia's apology to Drew was not genuine at all because she showed her true colors on camera, that she's really a mean person because Drew did nothing wrong. Justice for Drew, even though she be lying a little bit. But
not lying a little bit.
yeah, she be lying. And I feel like Phaedra and Cynthia should have came out at the same time because Phaedra, why are you here, baby bop? Why are you here? And she's talking about it was her outfit was giving Grenada. It was giving Barney and Friends. Like what? Girl, please. But anyway, this first part was kind of mid to me, so I'm excited to see what we can do next. I would like for Kelly to come back, free her dog, and but I would like Shamia to be a friend of, because Shamia, that's all she gives is friend of. If it weren't for Porsha, what storyline would you have?
I mean, based off what they showed this season and her music career, I didn't love that. But okay. Thanks, Daylin.
Yeah, thank you. Her music storyline prolonged too long, though. Yes.
All right.
But bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye. All right, let's try Tyler again. Tyler, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this, and I'm not team Shamia, but what I think happened was, I don't think she's lying about they had this alliance or whatever like that. Porsha, I almost got sorry. Porsha knew about it, and it was like Kelly was going to throw that little question out there just to get a little started, and then they were going to be the young hot girls. I think Porsha pivoted on Shamia, and Shamia resorted back to being exactly who she is, a lapdog, because she expected her best friend to be, her supposed to be best friend, like, oh, we going to kill this. We going to get these girls together. And Porsha, being the hater that she is, not a girl's girl, switched once she saw that everyone was kind of taken to Shamia. But what I will say is, Shamia, if I do want to see you come back, but if you're going to be up Portia's A word, I don't want you to come back, because she showed you that she's not your friend, especially on this reunion, because she sat there and lied and said that she told you, don't say anything, I just wanted you to talk about filming. And Drew even bust Porsha out and said, we weren't even discussing filming at that time. Like Porsha, and then this performative apology that the producers told you to give, because they said you're not reading well. Let's be real. The fans are really, if you really want to be honest, Porsha is a staple of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, so we're okay with her coming back. But if you really wanted to be real, Porsha could go based off this last season. It was a complete flop. You showed that the difference between Porsha and any other girl, they didn't set them up to be the anchor or the force multiplier of the show. They set you up to do that, and you showed that you're not able to do that. As soon as Kenya left, you couldn't do it. So why are you there? Why are you receiving the big bucks? I'm just being honest. You can't do anything without support. Cynthia is okay as a friend, but I will tell you this: they need Nene or someone to come back as a friend to euthanize Cynthia. Nene has a more youthful spirit, so
Not
she would have been better.
Did you just make that word up?
I know. Cynthia is very she's very auntie-ish, a very kind person. But somebody like a Nene would have brought out that funny, shady side of Cynthia or whatever like that. But I did like her there. I do like the idea of a Cynthia or whatever. I just think that they need another OG there. But I honestly would keep everyone and build from there, give them a second chance and kind of build from there. I would just sprinkle a OG in, but I can guarantee you, I don't think Drew is coming back. I don't know why, but I just feel, and it felt awkward because why is she all the way down there? I was like, she should have been, if not, maybe next to Shamia. I would have liked her to be next to Shamia because there was a point in time where Drew was kind of supporting Shamia and Porsha is lying. And I would have loved to see them kind of connect because Angela fell flat at the reunion. Sorry, she did. She didn't give what everyone thought she did.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, during the interviews, Angela was like, oh, I brought the receipts. We have to remember we're watching an edited show, and versus what they experienced there versus what we're seeing edited could be very different.
Yeah, I watched it on, of course I watched the Peacock version, and I just was underwhelmed. I was like, I like Angela, of course, bring her back, but I was just like, she didn't bring it like that. And I honestly, in my heart of hearts, nothing's not going to make me not believe this. Angela wants to be Porsha's friend. Angela wants to be a part of the It Girls of Atlanta. Angela set that up because the thing that Angela does is wants to create divides between friendships.
You think that Angela set
because
her own
she does not want Phaedra. This is what she's doing. She doesn't want Phaedra and Porsha to be that close. She wants to drive away. See, she's doing the same thing. Bet you next season she's doing this. She did the same thing to me that she did to you and Candy. Angela, as she sees a way to get in between a friendship, that's what she's going to do. Angela did that. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I'm finding this very interesting.
Think about how she's tried to get in every friendship.
You're right. We talked about that at the beginning.
Every single friendship. And Phaedra and Porsha was the last one. And the thing is, why would you, like the last one caller said, why would you want to honor Porsha, who said she would sleep with your husband, who talked about how you dressed, how you looked, who laughed with Shamia when she called you LaToya Jackson, all this and this and that, because you want to be a it girl of Atlanta. You even went and stepped your hair game up, wearing these bobs and all these different clothes that are not you, because you want to be a it girl of Atlanta. And Porsha, like her or not, is one of the it girls of Atlanta, and that's what you want to do. And my thing is, you want to get in between her and Phaedra or whatever like that. And it was a good storyline. It just fell flat because you didn't make sure you paid him enough to keep his story the same. Let's be real here.
Damn,
I don't think that Phaedra did that. I don't. I do not think that
based
Phaedra
off the
did
reunion,
that.
I'm not sure if Phaedra did it, but I also don't think that Angela did that to herself.
I do, Kempire. I'm sorry, because I'm telling you, watch when next season comes, Angela is going to be exposed for the messy fraud that she is. I like Angela, but Angela is messy and wants to. Angela is a longtime fan of the show. She studied. Okay, so let me tell you this. They've had several events, right? Yeah. Several events. Prior to Phaedra, somebody could have been showed up. They've been talking about your husband had another baby and all this. You strategically waited until Phaedra came because the producers told you certain things she said, that she said you look old and this and this and that. So you was like, oh, I got one better on her. And she said she never seen me. She didn't know that Charles was married. You took on to that. Angela, nobody's stupid. You did. You did it. I like you, but you did it.
I like you, but you did it. Right, Tyler. Tyler, we appreciate you calling in. So you enjoyed part one of the reunion?
No. But that's all. Thank you, Kempire.
Thanks, Tyler. Take care. Tyler. But Tyler always comes in with a perspective that I'm like, I never thought about it that way. So you never know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But we did say at the top of the season, it was like, pay attention to Angela and how she's orchestrating mess. I just don't think that she would throw her husband under the bus like that. But I will say this. Remember, she didn't tell her husband, Charles, about Marcus coming to this event. And that kind of technically was throwing him under the bus. But I mean, I don't know. I really don't believe that she orchestrated that. I do think that her receipts fell flat, though. All right, Miss Sharon's backstage. We're going to bring Miss Sharon up next. And I am going to drop... Okay, let me just say this before Miss Sharon speaks. We have Miss Sharon, DJ, O'Shea, Viewer Viewing, Tyler already went, Barry. Those are members. Live chat, you will have a timer. Okay? I'm going to drop the calling for you. Our members do not have a timer, but members, please do not abuse it so we can get to everyone. All right, let me drop the call-in link for our live chat. I froze. Not me frozen. Come on, face frozen. Boom. And it's a Mercury retrograde in a couple of days. All right. All right, let's drop this call-in link for the live chat. Shout out to our King's Guards. Our King's Guards are holding us down. Thank you to our channel members. Become a member today at TheKempire.com/join. Also, thank you to our subscribers. We appreciate you guys as well. Shout out to our new subscribers. If you're a new subscriber, be sure to let yourself be known in the live chat as well. All right, and if you're part of the replay crew, because I understand people are back at work. It's a Monday, and we're live during working hours. So, and maybe you're on lunch. Who's on lunch? Let me know. Okay. All right, let's bring up Miss Sharon. Miss Sharon, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I just called to let you know I'm still alive.
Yeah, I'm not about to say, Miss Sharon. I was like, we haven't heard from you in a hot second.
Yeah, I haven't been watching those shows really.
You've been watching sports?
Huh?
You've been watching sports?
Yeah, I've been watching baseball and I've been watching football, listening to the sports analyst, trying to keep up with Shador Sanders and
What sport does he play?
Football.
Okay.
Quarterback, and the Browns drafted him, and I wanted to see how he was doing. And so far, it seems he's been doing really well, better than his what was that, 5th spot that he was drafted by the Browns. They say he's showing up and showing out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've been watching that. I catch a little bit of Atlanta, but I'd rather watch a baseball game 3 times before watching that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really watch that much of the series this year of the, I only caught the first 4 because I want to see what about Kenya and see how they explain that. And then after Kenya thing, I stopped watching it. And then I caught the last couple of episodes before it went off. I caught where Angela Oakley was trying to blame Phaedra for that guy coming on the show and say, tell her that Phaedra was the godfather of Atlanta.
Yes.
And I watched that. I don't believe Phaedra did that, but anyway, that's another story. I don't know. I really don't care.
Oh.
I saw the reunion last night. That was horrible. And I hope Andy didn't claim that this is going to be the best reunion ever because it fell way flat.
I don't think he did say that about this reunion. I haven't seen anything, but
yeah, thank God, because it fell way flat. I mean, it wasn't no gotcha moments. It wasn't no explosions. Everybody was talking over each other, and it was stupid. But I enjoyed seeing Cynthia in her pretty nightgown, and that was just about it. I thought that what is her name? Shamia. I heard Shamia's music. I couldn't understand it. On one of the episodes I saw her singing, I couldn't understand the words or couldn't really hear it. So I played it on YouTube. Her music, I guess, after it was recorded, I thought it was nice. I really liked the song. Drew, she's a very good singer as well. But, I really didn't watch it. that whole season was not a Sweet 16. It was a messy Sweet 16. And you know how you say that they have filler episodes?
Mm-hmm.
I felt the whole season was a filler episode.
Oh.
So, yeah. And that outfit that I heard you and the two ladies this
Layla and Ingrid
afternoon, this morning, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that, and you were saying the only reason why I rewatched the and I'm not finished with it though. The reunion was to see what you were talking about. Portia's outfit. You know, it's that material. You know, it's like pleather. You sit down and it cracks.
Oh, so
you know how you sit down. That's an outfit you can only like wear one time, and then the material starts cracking.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that was what was happening with her.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, Kempire, I just really came on to let you know that I'm still here, still alive in the house, and I believe I can fly.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Miss Sharon, for calling in and giving us an update.
Yeah, anytime.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
For those that are new here, Miss Sharon always calls and she's our sports nista. She updates us. She lets me know what's happening in sports because other than her telling me, I probably wouldn't know. Just saying. Not Cynthia's nightgown. Cynthia, I keep telling you guys, Cynthia was giving us friend of wigs and friend of she's on a friend of budget, okay? She didn't get the check that Phaedra got. That's terrible. All right. DJ's backstage. We're going to bring DJ up next. DJ, what did you want to share about the part 1 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion?
Hey, what's up, Kempire? How are you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm well. Looking forward to seeing you coming down the road soon.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking forward to that. But this has, I actually have started to enjoy the end of the season, and it's got me a little amped up for season 17 because I'm like, all right, add a couple new faces in there, and we might be on to something. I just really quickly disagree with this comments, couple of comments from earlier when the woman was like, oh, Charles really shouldn't be involved in it, or the husbands really shouldn't be involved in everything because it kind of throws off the show. I disagree. I think that's when we have the best TV. That's when the storylines are the freshest, when, their families and their husbands and friends are involved. Otherwise, they're, making up stuff. They're getting some guy from Athens to come in and stir up drama. And speaking of that, I absolutely do not believe Angela. That is a scheme that Todd set up. I mean, it gives fake all the way through. I mean,
so you think Angela was behind Marcus?
100%. If she wasn't, somebody else was, and she was like, all right, let's just go with it. I mean, she went from Junebug to Phaedra's brother to her aunt to, the principal at Athens High. It's like, what are you doing? Dragging up all of this stuff with no actual. And then when she pulled that stuff out of the binder, I'm like, oh, maybe something's going to. No. That was like when you go to Google and type in a phone number and, whatever pops up, you print out. Like, nah, it wasn't given anything. And then just really quickly, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. Porsha could not have been in any alliance. How? When half the season they literally were attacking her at every angle. Nothing's making sense when they're saying this. I'm like,
so you're calling Shamia a liar?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think either Shamia is lying or they got together beforehand and just the execution was terrible when it came to putting it out on stage. Because to me, I'm sitting there like, wait, okay, so maybe Porsha did know, but she couldn't have been involved. But how? Because they were going back and forth the whole season. And then her and Kelly were going back and forth. And none of it made sense at all. And then just quickly, I did not realize that Porsha and Angela were the same age. There is no way. And maybe it's Portia's youthful energy. But I honestly thought Angela was the same age as my grandmother. And mind you, I'm 28. My parents had me young at 18, so my grandparents are in their 60s. So I'm thinking, okay, she probably is about 58, 60. I had no clue that her and Porsha were the same age. So, to the last point that the caller made, she did step up her game. She started the wigs up and everything. She's starting to look a little better.
I would have to say that's a damn good looking 60-year-old.
I mean, yeah. Oh, no. Don't get me wrong.
Body's definitely not giving 60.
Yeah, no. I don't want anybody to think that I'm, shading or knocking her, but she doesn't give Porsha's age or whatever. They are not the same. Like
some might say Porsha is a little immature, though.
Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe it's the youthful energy or whatever. But please don't kill me in the comments, because every time they be like, "Why is he talking about women?"
Oh, do they? You can tell I don't go back to the comments. You don't need to go to the comments. You said what you said, and you're standing on it.
Amen. I said what I said, and good night.
Thanks, DJ. Bye.
See you.
And that's the thing. A lot of people that call into our channel don't necessarily agree with me. You could tell from the callers. A lot of them disagree with me based off what you already heard. We welcome differing opinions here. What we don't welcome is ignorant people in the comments saying, like, you hate this person or blah, 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 blah. Go get a life. And like I said, I didn't even know they were attacking DJ in the comment section, because I don't go back there. I go like right after the live. Hey, y'all, thank you for watching. Blah, blah. And then I move on to the next one, because guess what? I'm busy. All right. O'Shea's backstage, call all the way from South Africa. O'Shea, hold on.
Hey,
there we go.
Hey,
What's going on?
Not too bad. I just called to say this about Drew. I know it's not in discussion of the reunion, but I realized as I was watching yesterday, I feel like the reason Drew was like likable and approachable this season, and not, how she previously has come across, was after she and Taeyang allegedly had that situation. I feel like a different part of her opened up, because Drew on this season is very different. Like, she wasn't like saying problematic things. She was like fun, and I don't know. But I feel like that. So
you're giving credit to Taeyang opening her up?
That's what I'm giving credit. Not specifically. I'm giving credit to Drew finally like letting loose that part of her life, because I never used to like Drew before this. Like, she used to, I found her quite upsetting. But the season, I really liked her. And I was thinking last night, I wonder if it's because she's finally, Anyway, I don't want to say that, but But I feel like maybe that's part of the reason as to why Drew was fun and interesting this season. But I don't know. But those are, I just called to say that because I've been thinking about that since last time when I went to the show.
The random thoughts. Okay. All right, O'Shea.
All right.
Thank you so much for calling in. Wow. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone, because this is not Kempire After Dark. That's what we'll end up talking about in Kempire After Dark, guys. So go get your tickets. I'm coming to Atlanta on August 5th. Then I'll be in DC on August 22nd. Then back here in New York City on September 12th. There are meet and greets for all the shows, except the New York City show has not just a meet and greet, but also a live stream option. So even if you're not able to come to any of the shows, or if you're coming to some of the other shows, what I say in New York City won't be what I say in Atlanta or DC, et cetera, et cetera. Go get your tickets today. More information on the Kempire After Dark, The Villain Arrow, will be available in the description. Go get your tickets today. Let me say thank you. We had a couple of super chats. Keith, thank you so much for another super chat. Keith says, Kelly's, abortion, we're just going to say it, explanation doesn't make sense to me. How could something be taken out of context if you never said it? Either he lied or she did. We didn't talk about that because she blamed the stylist that she worked with telling Brit that information. And then she said that she believes, everyone has a choice in making that decision. But she, after she had her twins, ended up having having her tubes tied. I agree with Keith. Her explanation didn't land for me. I was like, okay, you had your tubes tied, but you had a personal conversation with the stylist, and the stylist told Brett. It just didn't land for me. At the end of the day, girl, again, your body, your choice. I don't care if you did or you didn't. I don't care. Tamara, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Tamara says, Angela is not out here twerking, so that makes her not in her 40s. I know. There are people, I don't think she looks as old as y'all make her out to be. I don't know. Maybe she just, I think her essence gives older. I can't say that necessarily her face necessarily gives me older. Especially not during this reunion look. Maybe it's the nose job. I don't know. Reality show Binger says the stylist lied. Yeah, the stylist is also being messy on social media. My thing is, I guess you never want to work again. but okay. Especially if you're going to be working with Brit. Brit's no longer working on this show. All right, viewer viewing. We're going to bring up next. Viewer viewing, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. I'm so happy to say hi. I'm a first-time member, Colin.
Thank you.
And I've been a fan of yours for a long time. So,
Thank you.
But let me get to my notes.
Okay, notes.
So I dropped the bomb about Funky Dineva in the last live that you did. He didn't give a name. He just said a Real Housewife of Atlanta restaurant owner. And
he didn't say past or present?
Huh?
He didn't say past or present?
He didn't say past or present. He just said a Real Housewives of Atlanta cast. And he didn't say past or present. He said they own a restaurant and that they are having, or they're having immigrants work for free. And
work for free?
Yeah, they're not paying them. They're not paying them. So what else would it be? So, I guess when they've asked for payment, they've threatened to call ICE. Now, I put 2 and 2 together. And you remember how Kelly was going around with the bodyguard all season? Could that possibly be why?
Because didn't Porsha say there were 2 reasons, and one was because of the ex? She never really said the second reason, right?
Well. Like, it would make sense. It would make complete sense. Now, I'm just gonna say allegedly.
Yeah, this is all alleged.
Yeah, it seems as though it would be like the reason for needing a bodyguard, because if I'm working in a hot kitchen and you're not paying me and you're threatening ICE on me, it's gonna be like it's a really sticky situation to be in.
Yeah.
But again, we don't know.
And there aren't, and let's be honest, there aren't, at least currently, there aren't any other person owning a restaurant on the cast of Real Housewives of Atlanta except Kelly.
Yeah, and he said this a few weeks ago. So, I mean, if the shoe fits.
Are you saying that I am psychic? Because I told you the money feels a little funny, but allegedly.
Well, you also kept on highlighting her being a Pisces.
Well, come on. I was thinking it, though. Thinking it.
I know we don't enjoy Phaedra on the show, but I do think because of her View, the View interview and her possibly stepping her toe into politics, that is something I would want Bravo to document. And the only reason why is because, politics is a dirty game.
Yeah.
Okay. And their researchers do digging and all that. So the opposing side could be digging up a lot of information that we don't know.
Oh, so that's why you want her to run for politics?
I mean, Bravo, put it out there.
I don't know if it's still available. Can someone let me know? Check Amazon if Angela Stanton's PDF is still available.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying that would be an angle, because you said the money is not money and over at Bravo, but that is something we would all tune in to watch. Phaedra does politics, and she's,
I've always said this. I've always said that they should have done a show with Phaedra where she's a judge. At least she has a legal background, and she would be funny and entertaining. And we don't have to talk about her own personal life. We could talk about everybody else's personal legal trouble. I've always thought that should have been the show that they ran with, but that never happened. So.
I just don't. I wouldn't want her judging anybody. I hope she's not the one embalming people either. I wouldn't. I just don't trust her. And usher up to heaven. Oh, girl. Anyways, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
I just think this cast. Like, did you watch Kenya's Miss Lawrence? Kenya and Miss Lawrence.
I loved it.
It was so good. I just loved it, and like. it was just such a nice, heartfelt conversation, but
because
also
I didn't realize
like,
how far they went back and how close they were and how involved they were in each other's lives like that.
yes, yes. And just to see intelligent people on TV or on YouTube, okay? So that brings me to my next point because we all know this season, I haven't even watched the episode, the reunion episode. Your review is good enough for me. I like when the seasons went on, I'm just playing Sudoku on my phone. But I just think at this point, bring all the oldies back. We know them, they know of each other. They, like Nene says, we see each other. You know what I'm saying? They know each other. They have that camaraderie. And I don't know why they're trying to scale younger with Housewives of Atlanta, Potomac. I've stopped watching. Like, just go with what works and pay them what you owe them because you know it's going to draw in the millennial viewership. You know, so like that's just my thing. Like, I'd love to see Nene back. I'd love to see Kenya back. I'd love to see like Phaedra. No, we want you to do politics so we can hear your dirt. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want the real OGs back because they made good TV. Like, that's what we go back to. That's what YouTube has in the algorithms, all the old seasons. It's never the new stuff. So I feel like Bravo just needs to try to quit scaling young because it's not happening. You're trying to make fetch happen. But
and it's funny
anyways,
because like these old clips where they're like babyfying the clips, it's like the old stuff that's becoming viral right now.
and it was iconic because they just felt like real people. Like Nene feels like somebody in my family, you know, or somebody I've seen at the hair salon. Like, it's just this new butch body built type of, you know, butts and all that stuff, like that younger scale that they're trying to do, the twerking and all that. I'm 39, my knees hurt. I mean, like, it just isn't relatable. Speaking of being relatable, thank you so much for your Diddy coverage. And I hope you come to Seattle again. The last time you came, I wasn't feeling well, so I couldn't come.
I ended up not coming to Seattle. It's funny because a woman that lives in Seattle, she flew to Philly to be a part of the show. I know there's a strong handful of y'all in Seattle that want me to come.
You know, and we don't go outside, so I couldn't tell you what venue to go to or anything. But thank you for all you do. Your Diddy coverage was amazing. Your sensitivity towards women, just in general, when having conversation, whether it be my body, my choice, plastic surgery, any of that. It's always like so heartfelt and warm. So I just want to thank you for your service to our community. Thank you so much, Kempire. I hope to call again.
Yes, please do. Thank you for calling in. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. I might just have to go to Seattle and do like a meetup because I do want to go to Seattle. So Seattle, stay tuned. All right. Because based on all the people I met, I feel like everyone keeps asking me about Seattle. So I feel like, I need to probably just go for the 20 people that wanted to come to the show. All right, Barry's backstage. We'll bring Barry up next. Barry, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I just wanted to comment on something. I watched your preview this afternoon, or your show this morning with Layla and Grace.
Yes.
It would be on my birthday month that you would decide to give away credit to someone else for something that I did.
But I gave you credit this live.
I didn't see that, so I'll have to go back and watch. But you gave away my credit just because I shaded towards it that one time, so I see that we are now tit for tatting with
okay. I blame my 40-something-year-old brain, okay? But I did remember this live.
But no, I watched the review and the reunion, and I will say I think Phaedra did it. I personally don't trust her. She never said she didn't.
That's true.
She never said she didn't. Even with the candy stuff, she never said she didn't do it. Even every time you ask her if she does something wrong and everyone suspects her for something, it's always, why would I do that? And the way she came to answer at the beginning of the season made no sense.
Yeah.
It was only unless Porsha put a battery in her back, knowing that she's coming on the show. That's the only explanation for it. Otherwise, the ageist comments about like, oh, she's the oldest looking 40-something-year-old she's ever seen. It just made no sense. And also, she showed us she's capable of doing this.
You
So I'm sorry.
Points.
And actually, what she did to Candy was worse. So this was probably light work for her. And also, something in Portia's timeline does not make sense. It took 9 months for them to come up with a prenup. From when she got engaged, how long did it take for them to get married?
Well,
because that timeline, that seems a little funny to me.
I will say this, not really, because they were together a hot second before they actually got married. Apparently, because of the prenup, that's what delayed the original wedding they were supposed to have. So the timeline of when they got together is a little suspect, but yeah.
Yeah, so like that to me was just, I was trying to do the math in my head, but I couldn't figure out based on like the real timeline when she posted that picture.
I mean, it's hard when people lie a lot.
True, but I mean, this community likes to give Porsha all this grace as if like she's deserving of any of it. But like, like I said before, when you're pretty and you have a high pitched sounding voice, you're a little bit dumb, everyone loves you. I've said it. There are plenty of other examples I can give besides Porsha, but she's the queen of those people. She is not the brightest. She's very pretty, but she's not smart. But people love her. I don't know why. It baffles me. And I felt bad for Drew at that. And I also felt bad for Drew because Porsha also didn't cop up or to anything. And I don't think if for the most part, if most of the viewers hadn't not been on her side, Porsha would not have apologized. Porsha got ate up in the comments every episode. So that is the only reason why she went and gave that fake hug, because let's baby daddy come on out and see if she keeps that thing out.
Yeah.
So
I agree. All right, Barry. We appreciate you calling in. All right. Hold on. Oh, wait. Lavender says 9 months to do a prenup is a red flag. Well, the red flag was already there. And, one of the things that we didn't mention was Shamia bringing up that she had asked Porsha whether or not she had dispelled some of the rumors that were online. Porsha never responded to that during the reunion, but that says to me that they were talking about all of the rumors around Simon, because remember, all the blogs and bloggers and content creators were doing all these videos on Simon's, shaky past. So although that deportation news ended up coming out right before she filed for divorce, a lot of us already knew about that stuff because it was already coming out when they first got together. And word on the street, Porsha ended up delaying her first wedding, her original wedding date, because he was dragging his feet, allegedly, Simon was dragging his feet when it comes to providing the financials for the prenuptial agreement. That was another red flag. So the red flags were hitting Porsha in the face, but Porsha was just like, whatever. And now Porsha is like, I got a Rolls Royce, a multi-million-dollar home, and I'm winning. So, look. All right, let's take one more caller. Keisha's back. Keisha with an E is backstage. Keisha with an E, are you there? Hold on. Keisha, are you there? How come it's not coming up? Keisha, you're muted. Keisha, we can't hear you, Keisha. All right, Keisha, we're going to have to drop you down. It's okay. All right. I want to say thank you, guys. We're almost at 600 likes. Can we get to 600 likes? We did this special live. We had a live earlier today with Layla Lynn and Grace Report talking about part 1 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. This one was really for you guys to call in and share your thoughts. This was our after show, so I can share additional thoughts as well. Teresa says, Miss Diane is proud. She sure is. Let me see. Keisha, are you there? Keisha, are you there? Keisha? I can't hear you. I don't know what happened. Okay. All right. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch and Twitter. I see you guys. All right. Brit says Miss Diane's eating pizza all over in peace. You know what? I mean, they're winning at this particular point, right? Let's see. Keisha, are you there? No. I don't think it's working. I don't know. Something's going on with StreamYard. I don't know what's happening, Keisha. It's like saying you're there, but then saying you're not there. I don't know. All right. You're welcome, Jenna. Shout out to our King Scars for holding us down in the live chat. And thank you guys for over 618 likes. Shout out to those of you watching on TikTok. I appreciate almost at 12,000 likes. If you're watching the replay of this, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on the first part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. Makes me wonder what they're going to talk about in part 2 and part 3. I'm sure we're going to be unpacking more Shamea and Porsha's relationship and their friendship and what happened there. But I already told you what I think is going to happen by the end of the reunion. They're going to start boo-hooing, talking about how close they've always been and how they grew up together. And it's going to be all this up and down. And then at the end, they're going to cry and they're going to make it up and like, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll come into season 17 with them being friends again. Okay, fine, whatever. All right. I appreciate you all being here. Don't forget the Kempire After Dark, the villain era, is coming to Atlanta on August 5th. Then we'll be in D.C. on August 22nd. Then back in New York City on September 12th. All shows will have meet and greets available. But the New York City show will have a live stream option for those that are living in other cities around the country or around the world. You'll have access to that for a good week. So more information on the Kempire After Dark tour and our butter skincare routine will be available in the description. Don't forget, you can also hear our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. And if you want to hear my thoughts on Big Brother's latest season, I will be doing a special episode for our Club Kempire Baddies. Become a member today. There is a free 3-day trial available on Apple Podcasts. I appreciate you all being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let's continue this conversation, grown conversation, because we don't moderate adults. So no fighting and tussling in the comment section. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Again, thank you to our King Scars for holding us down, because I know this is double the work today for our Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. Bye, y'all. See you all in the next one. Oh, but wait. This is why it's so beneficial to be a podcast listener, because you get some of the stuff that I don't get to talk about when I'm live. So, you may have seen just a few hours ago, Brit Eady took to her social media to confirm that she will not be back, saying, my journey here is done. She even posted some video and what she, I guess, was intending to wear at the reunion. And I will give her this. Hair, makeup, dress look amazing. She probably would have been one of the best dressed. So she took to social media and says this in a caption, along with several different photos of what her reunion look was going to look like. She says, as I close this chapter, I want to thank everyone who supported me, my friends, my followers, my amazing team. You mean Kelly's team? She says, my amazing team and everyone who defended my name. I decided to walk away from something that no longer serves me because I choose peace over destroying my mental. It's very easy to say what I should have done when most have not walked a day in my shoes. I choose me. She puts me in capitals and says a lot of people can't say they choose themselves. I still have a lot of healing left to do, but you can't heal in the same place that made you sick. I don't owe anyone closure. I only owe myself to do what's best for me. My journey here is done. Brit. Look, I can respect that. But this sounds like me, very much like what I was saying during the season with some of the little trigger words that she was putting out there. It sounded like me she was gearing up for a lawsuit against the network. And based on part 1 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, Drew saying that she was threatening legal action then, I wouldn't be shocked that now she's gotten the coins together to proceed forward with this lawsuit. And here's the thing. I'm not a fan of Brit Eady, and I said this in a short form video earlier today. I think she should have shown up to the reunion if she wanted to come back next season. I think her antics towards the end of the season and her deciding to sue the network was because she thought that they weren't going to bring her back. But based off how everything played out with Shamea and Kelly sort of kind of falling flat and being wrong and kind of ganging up on her, I feel like she could have been redeemed. And this has come from someone that thought, yeah, she's not coming back. But I think maybe at the reunion, if she really showed up, she could have been redeemed and possibly could have secured another season. But here's the other thing. Is it worth it? Remember, these newbies are not making what a Porsha or Phaedra or what a Candy or Kenya were making on this show. So for her, she's probably like, is this worth it to get a couple of $1,000s when I could possibly get $20 million? She's not going to get $20 million. I don't think that. Again, I believe she may have signed an arbitration agreement within her contract, meaning that she has to mediate any disputes with the network. But it will be interesting to see what happens going forward if she decides to move forward with this lawsuit. Because as you know, it felt like we found out about this lawsuit very early on. However, with closer exploration and examination of her lawsuit, it seems as if she has not done what she needs to do in order for this lawsuit to move forward and for NBC Universal and all the parties to be informed that they're being sued. So, and I can see in the comment section of this post, the messy stylist is in there with "love you." Messy, messy, messy. It will be interesting to see where Brit Eady goes from here. But as I said earlier today, I feel as if Brit Eady only secured her position, because remember, they were considering a few different people for this reboot. I think she secured her position and was helped by Kenya doing what Kenya did. And again, if you've been listening to our recaps of this, in no way do we believe what Kenya did was correct. However, I think when Kenya did that, that secured Brit Eady's position on the show. Remember, this all played out at the top of the season. I'm thinking that some of these ladies that were still being considered were still on the fence whether or not who was going to be the full-timers, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. But I will give her a compliment. I think her dress looks amazing. She would have definitely been the best dress. Her and Porsha next to each other would have been fierce to kind of see their looks together. Dare I say, she probably would have been one of the best. For me, based off of this look, her, Shamia, and Porsha would have been my favorite looks. But again, she decided to walk away. And look, walking away from reality television, if you saw my lives earlier today, I was like, it's your best bet. There is no future in reality television. Yes, you can get a moment, unless you really strategically have a plan or you have a product or a business that could benefit from being on this show and it could be elevated and Bravo doesn't sink their percentage out of you for it, then maybe. But I just don't see this ending well for Brit Eady and whatever team or success that she was trying to get from being on the show. When she says my team, I'm like, what team? The one you took from Brit Eady, from Kelly? I wish her the best because I definitely don't wish anyone ill will. But yeah, I'm okay with Brit Eady not returning next season for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It will be interesting to see what direction the show goes in because everyone's wondering, will Nene come back? Will Kenya come back? Blah, blah. I don't know at this particular point. Again, if this lawsuit moves forward, I don't see Kenya returning. But you never know. Because again, we don't even know if this lawsuit's going to move forward. Guys, as always, let's continue this conversation in the comment section. I want to know your reaction to the news that Brit Eady has announced officially that she will not be returning for season 17 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. But who will be? I guess we'll have to stay tuned.
Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. As always, you can hear Kempire on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. More information can be found on KempireRadio.com.